What if I told you the key to happiness isn't about achieving more, earning more, or even finding the perfect work-life balance? Instead, it's about stepping into a state of mind that's already available to you, right now. Imagine breaking free from the endless loop of overthinking, regrets, and worries. Imagine living with a sense of peace, clarity, and purpose in every single moment. This is the powerful promise of Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. In today's video, we'll explore the book's life-changing insights, from understanding how your thoughts control you to discovering the hidden power of the present moment. We'll unpack how you can transform your life by shifting your focus. Stick around to the end, because I'll share a surprising truth from the book that could completely change how you approach your problems. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. How much of your day is spent thinking about the past or worrying about the future? If you're like most people, it's probably a lot more than you'd like to admit. This mental habit not only steals your joy, but also creates stress and dissatisfaction. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now is a guide to breaking this cycle. By focusing on the present moment, you can free yourself from the mental traps that keep you stuck. If you're ready to transform your mindset and discover actionable ways to live more fully, hit the subscribe button and join this community. Together, we'll explore ideas that empower us to live with purpose and clarity. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt like your mind is running the show, dragging you into endless loops of overthinking? Tolle compares the mind to a powerful tool, like a hammer. But imagine carrying that hammer around all the time. It would become a burden, wouldn't it? Here's the twist. Most of us do exactly that with our thoughts. We let our minds run non-stop, obsessing over regrets and fears. Tolle calls this constant mental chatter the thinker. The problem isn't thinking itself, but our inability to stop or detach from it. Consider this. Can you turn off your thoughts? Try it right now. For a few seconds, focus entirely on your breath. Notice how difficult it is to silence the internal dialogue. This is what Tolle means when he says we are addicted to thinking. But here's the good news. You can break this cycle by practicing presence. Start with simple tasks. For example, when brushing your teeth, don't think about your schedule or your phone notifications. Instead, focus on the sensation of the bristles, the taste of the toothpaste, and the sound of running water. Imagine washing your hands after a stressful meeting. Instead of replaying the conversation, focus entirely on the water's warmth, the scent of soap, and the texture of the towel. These micro moments of mindfulness train your brain to stay in the now. How much of your day do you spend lost in thought versus truly experiencing life? What would it feel like to reclaim even a fraction of those moments? Chapter 2. The Pain Body. Let's dive into something deeper, the pain body. Think of it as a reservoir of old emotional wounds we all carry. Over time, these unresolved emotions accumulate, forming an internal entity that thrives on negativity. It's almost like a parasite feeding off your energy, but it's important to understand. The pain body is not you. Have you ever reacted disproportionately to a minor incident? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, and instead of shrugging it off, you spent hours replaying the event in your mind, getting angrier with each thought. Or perhaps a small comment from a colleague ruined your entire day. That's your pain body in action, awakening and taking control. Eckhart Tolle explains that the pain body identifies itself with your sense of self, convincing you that its emotions are your emotions. Recognizing this is the first and most critical step to breaking free. The moment you realize, this is my pain body, not me, you begin to strip it of its power. When you feel intense emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, don't try to suppress or fight them. Instead, pause and observe. Say to yourself, this is the pain body. By shining the light of awareness on it, you stop feeding it. While common advice might suggest distracting yourself or snapping out of it, Tolle emphasizes the opposite. Face it with full awareness and without judgment. This process might feel uncomfortable, but it's the key to dissolving the pain body's grip. With practice, Each time the pain body awakens, you'll find yourself less controlled by it, stepping closer to emotional freedom and peace. Chapter 3. Delving deeper into the present moment. Imagine that time, as we know it, is merely a construct created by the mind. Eckhart Tolle asserts that our obsession with the past and future is the primary source of our unhappiness. Most of our stress comes from something that has already happened, or something that might happen. But here's the key question: what is happening right now? When you fully focus on the present moment, you realize that the past and future are just thoughts. They are like shadows. They have no light of their own, unless it's borrowed from the present. Tolle introduces the concept of clock time and psychological time. Clock time is practical. We use it for scheduling meetings or setting goals. Psychological time, on the other hand, arises when we dwell on regrets from the past or fears about the future, and this is where problems emerge. How can you apply this? Imagine working on a big project. If you constantly worry about everything that still needs to be done, it becomes overwhelming. Instead, break the project into steps and focus entirely on one task at a time. This keeps you anchored in the present and reduces stress. In nature, animals don't experience stress from time. A lion doesn't regret missing a hunt yesterday or worry about tomorrow. It lives entirely in the now. Try this. Pause for a moment and notice your breath, the sounds around you, or the scent of the air. This is the starting point for living in the present. Chapter 4. The illusion of problems. Here's a provocative idea. Most of the problems we perceive don't actually exist. All problems, as we understand them, require time. But what if we stopped viewing situations as problems and simply addressed them? Eckhart Tolle challenges us to ask, what problem do I have right now, at this very moment? Not an hour from now, not tomorrow, right now. Most of us would discover that the answer is none. Problems are created in our minds when we give them attention and weave them into elaborate scenarios. Imagine your car breaks down on the highway. In reality, it's just a situation to handle. Call a tow truck, arrange alternative transportation. But our minds often turn it into something much more dramatic. Why does this always happen to me? This ruins my entire day. Tolle advises us to focus on the specific next step. If you have a pile of work, don't think about everything at once. Concentrate only on what needs to be done right now. When you understand that problems are mental constructs, you gain immense freedom. Instead of letting problems control you, they simply become situations you handle step by step. Now ask yourself, what do I need to do right now? This simplicity can completely change your perspective on life. To summarize: 1. Recognize that you are not your mind. 2. Observe and dissolve your pain body. 3. Ground yourself in the present by letting go of psychological time. 4. Reframe problems as situations to handle in the now. Start small. Take one ordinary task today, whether it's eating a meal, walking your dog, or even folding laundry, and do it with your full presence. Notice how this shift changes your experience. As Eckhart Tolle says, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. If you found value in this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on how you plan to live more in the present moment. And for those of you who want to explore similar ideas, I highly recommend Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. This book beautifully expands on the concept of finding joy and meaning in the simple, present moments of life. You can find a link to it in the description below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, happiness isn't in the destination, it's in the journey. See you soon!